Sorry for how rough I sounded in the last one. Yes, the cough. Phlegm is building back up. Not a happy camper with this. So we're looking at it, and unfortunately, this mixed models line is causing us some issues. So we're going to go back into it again and do one more schedule adjust. We're going to come to here, and we're going to say, you know what? I'm going to let you run with 75%. But really, what needs to happen here is another step in the game, another tool that you can use to grow your industries and everything else. Now, that's been a. Oh, hey, that's some money. Let's go back and sell that train. We can get some cash. So at the old Depot 1, we got a train we can sell. So we sold that train. There we go. That should have gotten us some money. Yes, got us 7 grand back. We're still 31 grand in the hole. We're technically bankrupt. We're trying to salvage it out. We don't know. I don't know as if I'm going to pull this off, but we have something we can do. We were generating electricity over here. What are we doing with the electricity? Oh, right now, nothing. So let's do something. Under special construction tools, you have power lines and transformers. First things first, put in a transformer. That's the output transformer that goes onto the power stations. Get a grid line out, and then let's see how fast we can get to here. So we kind of need to get to there. All right. And then get this over to here, connect him up. There we go. Get you to there. And then we will continue our power lines over to the coal mine. There we go. Blow that section because we don't need him. Could have done tighter, but I don't really feel like it. And get a transformer in there. Now, what's this going to do? Well, let's see how much power we transport along that. Once we get a train up here. Speed it up for a second. And our first couple of initials are not going to take too much. Might take a bit before we actually draw power too. We know this coal went to that. We got the production boost, yep. And we got 3% the first month and then 10% the second month. Passengers, what's our max boost we can get? We can get 100% boost on, we can get some passengers out here. Where do people work? Well, they live in Hillville, Paulingville, and Asham. So there's Paulingville, and there's Hillville. Hillville looks like the best. Oh, we can get some planes. So what can we do to take and start moving things around a little bit better? Well, first off, seems I seem to be in sandbox mode, which might be good, and it might be bad. I prefer to show in the real game. Let's see if it's going to let me keep building. It is. Oh my goodness. This game is so foolish. It's going to give me money. Bubba, you're in trouble. Uh-oh. go. I might make these rows, re-rows, roll in, roll outs, roll on, roll off. Let's do an output. Get some steel over to that steel yard, or to that car factory, and see if that improves our push amount. Too slow. We're just going to go 4 cars. And then we'll go to here. 100% load on steel so that we make money. And rock and roll. Hi there. All right, so let's see if this speeds this up or starts getting us some production. Part of this might be that we've got a backlog of, oh, we've got steel waiting to go to the car factory. That's part of it. There was coal in the factory. Till we had an output to start draining it. That was the mess the whole time. An old joke with me is always save the duck pond. And you say it just like you're saying it to, like that lady is on crying out to save the clock tower and Back to the Future. Get the old coffee stirred up. Never tastes right when you forget to stir the creamer in. Either get a 2 sip of sweet a sip or 2 sour a sip. All right, so with that set, now we can begin digging into doing things. And this one's going to need an output line. Got that too close in. So we can start moving cars in the very near future. These one ways are so that they don't back out this way, that they come out the long way. Yes, it's going to cost me more in the long run, and we're going to need a siding over here at some point. Just like we probably should double line this in and straighten and smooth everything up. So here we are sitting here with our wonderful train trains seem to be working again. He's totally loaded with... Yeah, he's totally loaded. So we may have to add a third train. And a second line down the road. Change this to a choose station at some point. And we're going to need a signal, obviously, because this guy... Let me show you a trick. This is a good trick to know. Close out all the error windows. That's the reservations. Each train's got its own reservations, and as you can see, he reserved all the way in because there's no switching signals. So we're going to put a signal back here. You see those orange things tell you which way the signals are going to go when you're in this mode, so you got an idea, hey, this makes sense. He's now able to go on in. He's loaded up. He's going to wait for that first train to clear. And this is why I may need to go with a rerow. Roll in, roll out setup on that train. Because it's going to jam everybody up. So let's go ahead and do that part of the setup, at least for the steel. There we go. So after this, steel will be one way. Loop coming out, going across this bridge, and then over to the... How'd that help our finances? Or did it? Ouch. Not good. Not good. But part of that is we're not moving coal. Iron is not as high a dollar good. Looking at it, iron ore is only 59. Coal is 64. So it's a $5 difference per 100 tiles traveled. We're not doing a full 100 tile travel. We're barely doing 20. That's another problem. So we're only getting about half of what we should. But you deal with the hand you're dealt. Can we put that third coal train on?